Is on? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we wrote 2 speeches tonight. Jake, give the first speech.
Ben, you're huge. Taylor, you're small. Thank you very much. The salad's delicious.
Speech number 2. I'd like to start tonight by issuing a disclaimer. All of the content that you're going to hear tonight was written by my mother, Dawn Sampson. So if you have any issues, she's right over there.
We have 3 goals that we would like to accomplish with this speech. Number 1 is to upset and antagonize my brother Ben.
Goal number 2 is to upset and antagonize Taylor, which as a result, she will get mad at my brother Ben.
And goal number 3 is to upset and antagonize my mother, which as a result, she will get mad at my brother Ben.
So I have a dream, and it's a real dream, and that dream is in 5 or 10 years down the road, when you all look back and you think about Ben's wedding, you think, man, did Zach give an incredible best man speech? Because nothing, and I mean nothing, would make me happier than for all of you to think about me on my brother's most important night of his life.
Now, let's tell the story of how Ben and Taylor met each other, shall we? Once upon a time, Ben came down from his beanstalk. When he stumbled upon this little princess, he heard her voice in the distance, and she uttered the infamous line,
"You're the guy that smells so good."
Let's just stop right there. Taylor, I don't know what's wrong with your nose, but I lived with Ben for 14 years, and not one time did I pass this room and go, what is that delightful smell coming from Ben's room?
Okay, back to the story. Ben saw her beauty and he realized this one was special. He reached down and he said,
Oh, what is this little thing? I'm going to pick her up and I'm going to keep her in my pocket. And I shall call her Littlefoot. And from that day on, ladies and gentlemen, Ben and Taylor have lived happily ever after.
So I think it's safe to say that Ben and Taylor have somewhat of a unique relationship. I mean, most people, when they roll over at night, they lose the remote control. Ben rolls over, he loses Taylor. Now, when you walk by Ben tonight, you might think to yourself, hey, that's a big guy. But the question is, how did he get this way?
Well, Zach and I can tell you, because we lived it.
We were there.
And it really came down to one simple fact.
With my mother's ability to feed and my brother's ability to eat, they were an unstoppable machine.
It was a butcher shop, for goodness sake!
So being the older brother, the very first recollection I have of my brother Ben is, man, does that look like a lot of fun to beat the shit out of? And I did, for 12 years. But over time, I realized it's gonna get bigger than me. This thing can hurt me. So at that point, I did 2 things. Number 1, I began to develop a strong relationship with my mother. I figured she'd be a formidable ally. And number 2, I began to perfect mental abuse tactics that still work to this very day. For example, the simple term, sorry Ben, when uttered like this, sorry Ben, will break down that human being. So for old time's sake, if anyone wants to join in, on 3, Jake and I are going to say it.
Everybody, come on.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, Ben. contagious. It's contagious.
Now, also growing up, of course we had to give Ben nicknames. I mean, come on. He was that size and shape at 12.
We had Tank,
Sprinkles,
Lunchbox,
Kong,
Godzilla!
and my personal favorite, at the age of 14, the Carlos and Charlie's in Aruba beer drinking champion.
That's right, folks. While most kids were riding scooters and playing baseball, Ben was being crowned the beer chugging champion at Carlos and Charlie's. And we're not talking about regular beers, we're talking the yardsticks. I mean, I'm 30 and I can't finish one. He was winning the chugging competitions at 14.
So, to be honest, the one thing that we are all jealous of about Ben is that he was well loved. Anywhere he went, and I mean anywhere, he was well loved. Whether it was camp, school, sports teams he played on, the petting zoo, he was loved by everyone.
I mean, Ben's got 10 guys standing up tonight for his wedding. For my wedding, I struggled to get to 5, and my offer included a free fondle from Jake.
Anyways, if Ben was loved his whole life, why wouldn't Taylor love him, right? Ben and Taylor have been together for 8 years. 8 years! So Ben came to me a few months ago and goes, you think I should propose? I went, gee, Ben, I don't want you to rush into anything here. But over time, if there's one thing I've noticed, it's that true love does exist, and it's between these two.
I've been married for 2 wonderful years now, and I can tell you that in the end, it comes down to one thing: loyalty. And that is one department that Ben and Taylor have never had an issue in. There were never any breaks. There were never any I don't knows. It's been 100% commitment from day one, and here we are 8 years later, their relationship's stronger than ever.
Good. And I think it's fair to say that Ben is a very successful man. I mean, he was a straight-A student. He got a full-ride scholarship. He played Division I football. He graduated magna cum laude. He got a full-ride scholarship for his master's degree in accounting. And he's Jewish! But to tell you the truth, I just can't figure out what Taylor sees in him.
I know it may seem like we're being really hard on Ben, and that is because, well,
We are!
but we know he can take it. He's literally one of the strongest individuals I've ever met. I know Ben and Taylor are going to be so happy. I've been around them enough to know that they're so comfortable with each other. They love each other so very much, and I have no doubt they're going to spend the rest of their lives together.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Let's raise a glass. I don't have one, but we're gonna raise a glass to my brother Benny and his beautiful new bride Taylor. We love you both very, very much. And we know you can take a good joke, especially when you put your wedding on April Fool's Day.
Nice call, you jackass.
Mazel tov, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.